Hey guys, it's Lydia here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Jinsoku LE-1620 laser from Sain Smart. So let's get started. Alright guys, so Sain Smart sent me this awesome laser. I'm going to lift it up here for you. This thing's pretty cool. It's a little laser that is 200 millimeters by 160 millimeters engraving area. It's super nice, and it's just a nice little handy laser to have. I do mention that I'm going to be using it for my cutting boards engraving, which is really nice. It's a lot more open than, say, the Ortor laser machine. Even though that one's a little bit bigger, this one is open, and again, it just makes things a lot easier. So I'm going to do an unboxing for you guys and then show you how to actually set it up. So let's get right into the video, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it at the end. So just opening the box here, I also want to mention that this laser is from Genmitsu. And it's sold by Sain Smart, but it also says that it's 400 millimeters by, or 460 millimeters by 300, and that's the actual total area of the whole machine, not the actual engraving area. But overall, the instructions are super simple and super easy. They're basically step by step. It's not a whole lot. Right now, I'm just putting on these little rubber feet. They're kind of sticky, and you just wrap them around the bottom of the plastic, and they prevent the machine from actually moving around during engraving. There's just a couple screws you have to add to actually hold the two parts together. Again, the instructions say everything. I probably do plan on adding a base to this machine just because it's so small, and just to prevent, again, as I mentioned later in the video, my work table from getting ruined, and it also helps it from shaking. As long as, like, once you give it a base, it will prevent the machine from shaking when you decide to cut or engrave really fast. The laser attachment was super easy. I believe it was just 4 screws, 4 or 2. Super simple, and it automatically already comes assembled for the part that lifts the laser up and down. And then all you have to do is plug the laser in. It took me a second to figure out where, but there's this little box on the bottom here that powers the laser and the fan, and you actually plug in the actual power supply to that bottom part, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so we have it in our work area where the computer is, and all I'm going to do is plug it in. So it comes with the power plug-in, and then it also came with both the US and the UK plug-in. So obviously I'm using the US one, but it's really nice that they provide both so that you don't have to end up getting the wrong one in case they mix it up. They'll just give you both anyways. So I'm going to plug this in. So the plug-in's actually underneath here where the blue box is. Plug that in. And then once you plug it in to the wall, all you're going to have to do is turn the switch on. So it's plugged in, and the light does turn on down here. I'm going to make sure it's even on the surface. And I'm going to turn on. So all we have to do to start out is plug in the USB cord that comes with the machine into the side over here to connect it to the computer. And I'm just going to move it over here to make sure the cord's out of the way from where the actual laser is. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit, open up my software that I use as Lightburn, and show you guys how to actually connect your machine to your computer. So this will be just a little bit hard to see, but hopefully you guys can understand what I'm doing on here. So the machine is again connected, and all we're going to do is go down here to Devices and select Create Manually, and then I'm just going to click on GRBL, press Next, USB, because that's how it's connected, and then we're going to put in the dimensions of the actual machine. And so in here I'm going to change the name to the Jinsoku LE-1620, and then you're just going to go Next, and make sure it is the bottom or front left, and Next, and then it says you're all done. So we just press Finish and click on your laser and press OK, and now it is connected and it rehomes the laser. So I'm just going to get a little square set up here, and this is about 10 millimeters. So once we have the little square created, we're just going to go over here to cut and layers. And up here, mine is already on fill, but you can click on that and it can be line or fill. We're just going to fill, which is engraving, a little square. And then I have my speed set to 4,000 millimeters per minute, 70% power with 1 pass. And that's just a good place to start. And all we have to do from there is make sure that our laser is lined up. So if you go to the move button down here and you see the power button here, make sure it's on a really low setting. Mine's at 0.5, and I'm going to press fire, and then we'll show you what the laser looks like. And this is so that we know where our material is placed according to the laser. So if I press that fire button, we can see that the laser turns on. You can kind of see right here. And I'm just going to line it up just to almost the corner of the material. I'm going to lower you guys down so you can see a better angle of how the laser goes. So now we have the laser lined up here. I'll show you guys again. And so once you have yours lined up where you want, one thing you have to make sure every time before you cut or engrave is you use this little piece of metal here that they gave you to set the height of your laser. And so there's a little twisty on top here. This little thing right here, this moves the laser up and down, and I'll show you what that looks like. So you twist it, it moves up and down. So to get the correct height or focus, you want to put that underneath it and just slide it right under and make sure it just touches the top. And just do it over under the blue. Don't put it actually under the laser, just on the side, and make sure it slides out easily, and then now your laser is focused. So we're just going to turn the fire laser back on. We're going to line it up, and now we're going to press start. Make sure you always use your glasses for eye protection. I'm going to put these on and start the engraving. Okay, so the engraving is done and we can check it out here. And as you can see, it's actually a really nice engraving. It's not too deep on here. It's turned out pretty nice. And that was at 4,000 millimeters per minute with 70% power. So I'm actually going to try at 100 power at 5,000 millimeters per minute just to see the quality of the cut or the engraving. And as you can tell, the machine actually goes pretty fast and it doesn't rattle the machine at all. So I'm going to send this one and engrave. Also want to mention to always have some kind of fan or air circulation in the room that you are using this in. I prefer you do it outside or in some kind of shop. Right now I have fans going, and once you add an air assist to this, it makes it a lot better and less smoke. So now we can check out this one. And it is this one over here, and that's actually really nice. Still a great engraving for being that fast. So overall, just really nice. So now I'm actually going to engrave an actual file. And there are better videos out there explaining how to actually do this on Lightburn. So I'm just going to pull up a file and press send. Okay, so I have my file and I'm just going to send it over and start engraving. Okay, so as you can see, it turned out really, really nicely actually. I like how it turned out and it's very clear. So now I'm going to test some cutting on this plywood. This is, I believe, 3mm. And then I'm also going to test it out on this 1.5mm. So I will figure out some settings, I will put them on the screen and just cut out some squares. Okay, so I have everything set up. Always make sure there's something underneath the material you are going to cut because it will cut through and you don't want to burn your actual table. So I have some settings. I am going to start at 3 passes at 2,000 millimeters per minute with 100% power. And again, I'm just going to find my position, and I'm just going to do a simple square. Again, don't forget to measure each time. So I just added basically a 1.5 millimeter distance, and I'm just going to bring it up. Make sure it slides under, and now it's good. So I'm going to start the cut and go from there. Which obviously I have the setting too fast, so I'm going to start at 500 millimeters per minute, 3 passes at 100 power. So just send that again and see if it pops out, and there we go. So it did pop out. I think I could probably get it down to 2 passes, and again, this is a really thin material, so it's not going to take very many passes. So I'm going to change it to 2 passes and send it again and see if it pops out. Didn't pop out that time. Needed a little push, so 3 millimeters is the setting that we need that. Now I'm going to test this 3 millimeter thick material. Change the depth again, or the height of the laser. Check the position where it's located, and I'm going to change the settings to 400 millimeters per minute with 5 passes at 100% power. Okay, so looks like 5 passes was just enough. It did pop out, as you can see right here. So 5 passes worked great, 400 millimeters per minute with 100% power. So that means that this machine cuts just about the same as the Orator Laser Master 2. I also wanted to mention that this is a 5.5 watt laser, a fixed focus again, which means we have to change the height each time with this, and the wavelength is 455 nm, so very similar to the Orator Laser Master 2 Pro, but overall it's just a great laser. So the actual cutting distance on this machine is 160 millimeters by 160 millimeters. That is what the machine settings in Lightburn say. So I will just have to change that in my settings for engraving and stuff so that I don't exceed the limit. But other than that, this laser is super nice quality. It's definitely built very, very nicely. Even the only plastic things are these legs, which don't need much strength, and everything else is very, very strong. I really like how easy it is to lift the laser up and down. You don't have to actually unscrew anything, you just lift it super easily. The cords are very clean. I actually did zip tie them on the side here. There's a little slot for some zip ties just to clean it up a little bit more. But other than that, this machine is super nice, very portable, and just really small to fit on your desk. Something cool for engraving cutting boards like I do. This was actually one of the designs of the cutting boards I've done. So engraving super easy on this machine. And again, as you saw how easy it was to cut. So if I needed to cut some letters out, it'd be super easy to cut it on this small machine. Alright guys, so that is it for the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understand everything that I talked about. If you have any questions about using Lightburn or connecting your machine to Lightburn and setting it up, please let me know down below in the comments. I tried my best to show you the computer and what I did on it. It's really simple. There are a lot better videos out there about how to use Lightburn with any laser. It's really the same with all lasers. You just connect it USB and then go from there. I really like the feature of turning the laser on to know where you're starting at on your material, which is really nice, so definitely use that. And there's also an actual framing You can frame your area where you're going to cut or engrave, which is really nice to make sure you are on your material in the specific area you want to be. So again, this is such a great laser. It is very, very easy to use. As you can see, it was really easy to build as well. All I had to do was put 2 screws in, some little rubber feet on the ends of the acrylic, and that was really it. This machine is super easy, just plug in and play. It's very nice, again, to have on your desktop. And just easy to engrave things and cut things with. So if you guys again have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments. As you know, I really like to talk to you guys about the lasers, so don't hesitate to ask. Thank you so much for watching the video, and thank you Sain for sending me this machine, this laser to review for you guys on my channel. It's very appreciative, and I love working with new companies. Thanks again, guys, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.